Good evening. Welcome to Tactical Talk. How is everybody doing today? Welcome, welcome. We're happy you're here. I'm Jillian, and this is Shad.
Hi.
And we are your hosts for the next hour. So get your clock out because you got 59 minutes. And no, I'm just kidding. But welcome, welcome. Thank you for watching. Shad and I are very happy to be here. We are here every Friday from 6 to 7 p.m.
Yes.
You can find us on all social media platforms under Mad Dog Armory, as well as Area 52 TV. They are gracious enough to host us, so definitely check out their page. They have other shows that are kind of cool if you want to check those out. But of course, their favorite is Tactical Talk with Mad Dog Armory, which is what you're watching right now. So again, thanks for being here. You can find them, the shows on our YouTube as well. And definitely subscribe, like, and share that YouTube channel because we need to get the word out on our Second Amendment rights and training. And we've, I think today's our 31st. I think it's 31. I can't believe it. Yeah. 31 shows. So definitely go back and watch those if you haven't already. So if you're watching this show, a little bit about the show and what we're going to talk about. We are Second Amendment enthusiasts. We're patriots. We love our constitutional rights.
Yes.
We love guns, and we're not ashamed to say it.
That's right.
We love to go out and shoot. We love to train people and teach people and have collections and, you know, all that good stuff. And Mad Dog Armory, the store that we own, exists because we were trying to take away the stigma of guns, because all you hear in the media is like, guns are bad, guns shoot people, blah, blah, blah. Well, we're here to tell you that that's not true.
Yep.
And if you're watching and you're an enthusiast, you also know that that's not true. So we appreciate you liking, subscribing, and sharing so we can get the word out. And yeah, that's that
We
for them.
also started Mad Dog Army because of how she was treated when she'd go into gun shops.
Sure.
Which was a sweet little young lady that knew jack shit about guns.
Wow. Okay.
Right? I mean, pretty much that's what it was.
Okay.
It was like, hey, sweetie, here's a nice little pink revolver.
Well, that's how they treated me.
Right.
That wasn't right.
You know, and it's, I
Right.
mean, it was just, it wasn't right. It
He's
wasn't
like, she's a sweet lady that doesn't know shit about guns. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
right. Well, that was their thought. You know, they would
Other
look at
gun
you,
shops.
right?
Correct.
People would look at you. You'd come in and be like, "Oh, she doesn't know anything." Little did they know, right?
Yeah.
That she was an NRA instructor and already knew a bunch of shit already. So
Yeah. So Mad Dog absolutely exists for that reason as well.
Yeah.
We have two locations, Mad Dog Armory. We're located in the Tampa Bay area. If you're just watching for the first time, we're in the Tampa Bay area. We have two locations. Largo is our original store that we opened in 2016, and Tampa's our newest. We've had about a year and a half.
I know it's May. It's going to be 2 years. Holy crap!
I know, it's going fast. And Tampa is just so welcomed, and we're so excited because that is a very blue city. The mayor is Democrat. It's very populated with Democratic people, and it is just slamming. So I was speaking with somebody last night about our shops, and a lady was telling me that she's intimidated by guns. And I was like, you know what? Go into Mad Dog. Like, you'll walk in there. It smells good. It looks good. Everybody's going to welcome you. It's friendly.
Yes.
You're not going to get talked down to. I mean, it's like, we just ask questions and gather information on what is right for you, and then get you fit into that, whatever it is.
Yep.
So we always want to make sure that you feel welcome and never intimidated, or, you know, and like Shad said, yes, I opened the shop because we needed a friendly neighborhood gun shop that wasn't, you know, talking down to me. But there's also other people that they talk down to,
100%,
other shops.
100%.
And I don't like talking bad about other shops because I want lots of gun shops.
Yes.
And if you're interested in owning a Mad Dog, you can own one in your area because we're franchising. But other gun shops, you know, not every gun shop, but a lot of the gun shops that I visited back in 2015, you know, when I was and earlier, were kind of not friendly, kind of talked down to you, wasn't explaining things, and just like, oh, you don't know that, dummy, you know, like, and it's like, whoa, you know, no, I need training. Don't you want my money? You know what I mean? Like, to train me.
Absolutely.
So,
I actually had a college student come in yesterday into the Tampa location. First time looking for a gun kind of thing. And he goes, there was a lot of people in here. I didn't want to ask stupid questions. I was like, dude, it's all good, man. There's no such thing as stupid questions, you know, so it's
Yeah,
again,
that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good that he came to us because a lot of people have had bad experiences and it just turns them off. You know, that's the other thing too about Mad Dog Armory is we want to train people that you know. So if you're an avid shooter and you're an enthusiast and you have a significant other or a family member that wants to learn, the worst thing you can do is try to teach them yourself because there's a certain way that we've kind of perfected to help people not be intimidated. You know, a lot of times we'll have somebody say, well, I took, you know, my wife to the range and she hated it and now she hates guns and she doesn't, you know, like it. She didn't like the recoil. She didn't like the sound, you know, and it's like, well, you know, like if you would have let us, and it's never too late. So we have people that bring them in and then, you know, let us do it. And I promise you, I've never had anybody, not one student ever be like, you know what, this is the worst thing ever. You know, it's all smiles. And, you know, so FYI, let the trainers do it and
let the professionals do it. And that's kind of what it is. I mean, we've trained a lot of people, so we've learned a lot of different things. So in that time frame, you know, it's kind of one of those, we know how to deal with certain situations, and a lot of times husbands or wives or significant others or whatever, it's hard for them to learn from their partner. For whatever reason, and it's just funny how that is.
Sure. Well, in our case, you know, it wasn't that Shad didn't know what he was talking about because he clearly does know what he's talking about. It's just the way that certain people learn might not be the way that, you know, you learn, you know, so, and men and women think differently, sorry, but it's the truth, most of the time. And, I'm just saying they do. So let us do it for you and take that away from you and you don't have to worry about it.
Absolutely.
So definitely stop into the shops if you're local. If you haven't been to the Tampa store, it's on West Kennedy. So it's 2730 West Kennedy Boulevard. And then our Largo store is at 11606 Seminole Boulevard. So those are the two locations we have currently. And then you can always visit our website, mdarmory.com, and that's going to give you all sorts of information. Subscribe to our newsletter on the website too, because we send out specials and emails and all different things that we're always trying to like have promotions and different things. So we don't want you to miss out. So definitely subscribe to our website as well.
And check out our loyalty program, which is also on our website.
So the loyalty program is interesting. So we started that. We wanted to give back to our loyal customers. So we started that.
So you get 1 point for every $100 that you spend. 1 point equals $1, so you get that back. So you can use that at any point in time. You get discounts. You get actually a little bit higher discounts on some particular promotions that we're doing, depending on the promotions. When you first sign up, you do get one free raffle ticket for the raffles that we're doing at that particular moment in time. And what else we got?
We're going to talk about the raffle in just a moment, but you get 10% off ammunition. And yeah, that bad boy behind us, we're going to raffle off today. We get the free.
You get 10% off of ammo. Yep, that's
10% off of ammo. You belong to automatically belong and join our shooting clubs, which are amazing. Our shooting clubs are once a month. They meet once a month. We have a male and a female shooting club. And we run them a little bit differently. So Shad's is on the first Monday of the month. Mine's the second Monday of the month. And you automatically become a member. It used to be $50 a year, and then it went up a little bit, but now it's included in your loyalty membership. So the loyalty membership is $10 a month, and you can cancel at any time. So even if you join, you pay the $10 and you got your raffle ticket, you get 10% off. You can immediately use all of those benefits. And our shooting clubs are really great. It's such a great way for people to put it on their calendar and see, you know what, I have shooting club next Monday. Like me.
Gives you a reason to go out and shoot.
Absolutely.
It really does.
I talk to so many people that say, oh, I haven't been to the range.
I don't have time.
Yeah, I'm so busy. I haven't even taken my gun out of the box yet. I haven't shot it in years. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Well, we're all busy, right? So I understand it, but this is a really great way to remind you. It's on your calendar. It's every month, you know, and you're like, okay, oh, I have shooting club next Monday, and then you get there and you're like,
go shoot.
I know.
Damn it.
But yeah, I know. It's such a hard life. So the loyalty program's great. Check it out on our website. Let's talk a little bit about the raffle, since today is the day.
somebody in Largo, the Largo raffle has been completed, and somebody's going home with that Colt.
A Colt AR-15, awesome gun. It's really, really an amazing piece of machinery. Good
Yes.
old Colt. I mean, Colt's been around forever, well-known brand. And who wouldn't want a Colt AR-15 for a chance, a raffle chance? And it's $10 a chance. We have all different raffles going on in both stores. It's usually $10 a chance. Sometimes it's more. I think Tampa's is 20.
We're doing 20 right now, and there it is a Tommy gun, a Tommy, not a machine gun, but a Tommy semi-automatic, 100-round drum, and a 30-round stick mag. Man, the 100-round drum is just
really cool.
insane. It's so big.
Really cool. Ooh.
Ooh. And then you also get a CZ-A01, which
Pistol.
is a pistol, which
9mm
is a
pistol.
beautiful firearm as well.
Yes. So they're both on display in Tampa, so you can stop by there if you're in the area.
$20 a chance.
$20
And
a chance.
There were 300 tickets. So, and I think they're down to 200, I think. And it's been going on for like a little over a week.
Yeah.
I think. Week and a half, something like that.
Yep. So because there's two, it's $20 a chance. But in Largo, did they start a new raffle?
I don't know. We just ended it like yesterday, I think.
But
Yesterday,
okay.
day before, something like that. So I don't know if they've started another one yet or not. I don't know.
Okay.
Don't know yet.
Well, we'll get
Stop
back.
in.
We'll get back to you on that. We should know definitely what the raffles are,
Yes.
but we will 100% let you know next week, or stop into the shop. But they are definitely having a raffle over there. I want to say it's a handgun because I was texting with our manager Jen over there, and she said that you guys had discussed it, I think, and there was something. But anyway, okay, moving on. So the raffles are great. We've announced a bunch of winners, and some of them only bought one raffle ticket, and the packages go anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000. So for a $10 chance, or more, it's well worth it to just get that ticket.
Right.
And you do not have to be in store to purchase a raffle ticket. You can call the store, and we can get you into a raffle just over the phone. So no worries there. What else? So first-time watchers, welcome, and our tactical talkers, welcome as well. We did have a couple of people that did email us to let us know that they're watching and that they like the show, so thank you for that. So if you'd like to shoot us an email, it's at Tactical Talk. It's Tactical Talk at mdarmory.com. So it's on your screen, Tactical Talk at mdarmory.com. Let us know you're watching, and we will send you a free gift, which I am doing for the people that reached out already. And I reached out to them personally. So again, thank you to our loyal listeners and watchers.
I had a young man stop in our Tampa store. I was there yesterday, stopped in the Tampa store, and he said that he watches. So, hey, Mateo, how's it going?
Oh, cool.
There you
Awesome.
go.
Well,
Thanks for stopping in, buddy. Appreciate
yes.
it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Thank you for that. So Christmas, so happy December. We're in December. Today is the 9th. Tomorrow is our daughter's birthday. So happy birthday, Haley.
Happy birthday, Hales Bales.
She is 25 tomorrow. Oh my gosh,
Wowzers.
how's that possible? Crazy. So
You're
happy
only 15 when you had her, right?
way younger than that because no, just kidding. But so Christmas is 16 days away, people.
Oh,
so as
boy.
you can see, we have our little Christmas decor here. So get ready for Christmas. I started early, so I'm pretty much done, but that doesn't mean that the
Never.
chaos isn't happening with 2 stores and all,
Yes.
everything. It's a lot. So people are running around like crazy. We're here to make it super easy for you. You can just head into Mad Dog, grab a gift card. I just purchased a whole bunch of like really cool like Christmas gift card holders
Sleeves or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, they're like little presents almost. So we'll
Really
put that
cool.
gift card in there for you, and it's ready to go. You just fill out the tag on it, and you're good to go. So definitely give the gift of safety this
Yes.
season. Everybody that you care about, it could use the gift of safety, no matter what it is. And today we're going to be talking about some non-lethal options. Last week we had them all out for you to see. And then when we got back to the shop after the show, somebody put them all away. So they weren't in the bag this morning. However, that's okay because we're going to move forward and talk about them anyway. So Rob's going to kill it today, putting pictures up for us
His
since we don't have
fingers
it.
are going to be busy today.
But there aren't many. I think there's like 10 that we're going to go over today.
Okay.
But these are really great for anybody in your life. If you have kids, right, teenagers that walk to school or are going to college, or, you know, your mom, or she's going shopping, you know, but it's really non-lethal as for everybody.
It doesn't just have to be girls or women. Right?
Absolutely. Oh, no, absolutely. Did I say women only?
Well, you just kind of like,
yeah, men too,
girls
absolutely.
going to school and wives. And,
Yeah. No. Your guys that are going to school too. I mean, look what just happened in the news with those students. There was like 4 students that were just murdered in their, you know, in their house.
Whatever, yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. And now the news that's going on around that is all, you know, people are nervous. You know, they're interviewing students. I know I do it constantly.
She loves her hair.
The students, that are, you know, at that school are now very on point,
on edge.
On edge.
Yeah, I mean, because it's like the police have no leads at all, which is
that they're
absolutely,
sharing. But yes.
Yeah, but again, it's kind of scary. I mean, if that's accurate.
It's
So,
really scary that somebody's still out there, and it happens everywhere. You know, I know that's a high profile case, but
Right.
it happens every day. It happens everywhere. Good neighborhoods, bad neighborhoods. You are responsible for your self defense.
That's right.
So help out your friends and family, and give them the gift of safety, and get them something non lethal, which is great. Of course, we love guns, so we can always talk about that as gifts, but let's talk about the non-lethal stuff and kind of go from there. And we can explain the differences between them. A lot of people don't know the difference between a taser and a stun gun.
Right.
Right? I mean, I constantly
And-
get that. Like, I have a taser, and then they show me, and it's a stun gun. And I'm
Right.
like, okay, that's a stun gun.
And I don't know. I guess it's just kind of they hear taser, so I think they hear taser more than they do stun gun. So it's
Yeah.
just kind of anything that might be electronic is considered a taser.
Right, but they are significantly different.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about that today. We'll talk about like pepper spray. Sometimes you'll see gel, and they're pink, they're white, they're bear spray. So there's all different kinds of pepper spray. So we'll kind of touch on that. I don't know what I did with that pen that I had, but okay. Anyway, boop, there it is.
Hello, look at that. Where'd you pull that one out from?
Okay, so last week's show, I was sitting right here. Last week's show, it's funny, right? I was sitting right there.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Oh, geez. That is an opposite of nailed it. Okay. Last week's show, if you didn't catch it, we talked about the difference between striker fire, hammer fire, guns, because that's been confusing for a lot of people, and so we helped that out. Hopefully we helped you out with that. We also talked about center fire and
Rimfire
ammunition. So we always try to touch on things that people suggest to us, or we hear throughout the week. People are asking the same question.
Yeah.
So we'll try to touch on that. So any show ideas that you have, don't forget to reach out to us.
Absolutely.
And give us suggestions, because we're all about that.
Yeah. We'll give you kudos for it too.
We will probably give you kudos for it. Yes. All right. So let's move on to sports. So we are in the Tampa Bay area, Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay, baby.
So Bucks, we went to Monday Night Football last week, right?
Wow.
Did anybody watch that game? Because if you shut it off 10 minutes before it was over.
With 7 minutes left of the game, you missed a hell of a game.
You missed a hell of a comeback
Yes.
from Brady and the team. I know he gets a lot of the credit, but the team, it's a team effort.
It really was. I mean, the defense
Wow.
did what they had to do in that time period. New Orleans Saints, Mark Ingram, thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. Thanks for running out 1 yard short.
Yeah.
Well done. And that started it all right there. And it was
Well, let me
amazing.
tell you, it was exciting to be there. It's Monday Night Football. You're in Tampa Bay. It's a beautiful night. The stadium's packed. We're playing the Saints, who are like our arch
Rival.
nemesis.
Big rival.
Yeah.
Big rival.
And who dat and all that. We've been to actually
To New Orleans,
a New
yeah.
Orleans game, and it was horrible. We lost that game there, and it was
It was a
those
good
fans
game.
were-
We did lose, and
Yeah.
I'll give them that one. They actually beat us. I
Yeah.
mean, it was one of those. It was an offensive game. That's when we had Jeff Garcia. So it's been a bit.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, it was a good game.
Right.
And we actually were treated pretty well, with the exception of some schmuck right back behind us when we first got there. I put him in his place real quick. It was all good. But other than that, people were actually pretty nice. I mean, it was a pretty good time.
Okay.
Anyway, back to that.
So back to the game. So it was Monday night. We were very excited, and we were just getting our asses handed to us. I mean, it was really bad, and not that we're not used to that because we've been Bucks fans for a while, but I'm used to it. So like 5 minutes left, 6 minutes left. We were down 15.
We were down 13.
Okay, 13,
with
and
7 minutes. Right at 7 minutes.
And, they made a decision, the coaches made a decision not to go for it on
punt,
fourth down, and they punted, and the fans all just started booing, which, okay, let's just talk for a minute here, fans. We don't boo our own team, okay? Even if you disagree with the coach's decision and things like that, for you to boo the team that you're there, that you paid good money to support,
that's not supporting them.
The players hear you, okay? So we are the official, unofficial gun shop of the Tampa Bay sports areas, right? Yes? Okay. And trust me when I tell you, the fans hear you guys booing.
Not the fans.
I mean, sorry, the players. The players hear you booing. And what do you think that does to them? They're on the field playing their asses off, getting their butts kicked, and just trying to win this game. They're very competitive, and they have their fans booing because of one decision. Well, guess what, fans that left and booed? They came back and won. They need your support, right? So when things get tough, you don't just give up on your team, right? Bandwagoners.
Yep. While I wasn't happy, I definitely was not happy.
Yeah.
I was still there. You still hang it out, because you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And looky there.
I mean, they came back and they kicked ass and won the game, and the stadium was like empty.
Yep. They won 17-16.
It was very, very exciting, and I'm so proud of them for doing that.
Yep.
And I'm disappointed in you fans that left, bandwagoners.
Well done,
Don't
fellers.
do it. Don't do it again.
That's right.
All right, so we got another game coming up on Sunday. Who do we play?
We're going to be at San Francisco.
Okay, so it's our home.
Tough.
Okay.
Tough team. Tough game.
California
California
player.
There you go,
actually,
player.
I think she said she was a. Who are they playing? 49ers?
Yep.
Oh, that's who they're playing.
Oh.
Okay. We still love you. All right. So what's going? So thank you for that sports update.
The sports desk with Chad.
The sports. Oh God, he'd go a whole hour. Forget it. We need more time.
Yes.
Put more time. All right. So what's going on in the world? We know that this current administration is just a nightmare. He's fallen asleep in the middle of talking. He's fallen off stages. He doesn't know where he is. Our rights are under attack. Free speech. The border's a nightmare. Gun rights.
Geez, the border.
Nightmare. Voter integrity is just forget it. Open border immigration, critical race theory, all the stuff that's going on is just horrible, right? Well, Georgia did not step up. You did not listen to us. But it was so close. I mean, Herschel Walker really almost pulled it off. Yeah.
Narrowest of margins.
Yeah. So, but we'll get him hopefully in next
2 more
year.
years.
2 years.
2 years.
So that was some big news this week. And then the other big news that actually happened this morning was Dum Dum.
Yesterday.
Oh, was it yesterday?
I think it was it this morning.
Okay.
I don't know. Anyway, just recently.
Dum Dum released a really, really bad dude.
Yes.
In exchange for that basketball player, the female basketball player, Brittany Griner.
Yeah, Griner.
So she, and I'm not like really read up on all of this. I know of it, but I guess she went to Russia to play.
Yep.
And brought weed or some sort of.
And I think she was leaving. So she was there and she'd already played, and then she was leaving. And on the way out is when they're like, oh.
You're not allowed to have that.
Right.
So, FYI, when you travel, you're supposed to check and see what the laws are, especially when you are, carrying, or you want to bring your gun with you, or you have prescription medicine, or
any kind of self-defense stuff, whether it's knives or pepper spray. You got to figure out what the laws are there to see if you're able to have it or not, whether it's in the States or outside of the States.
Correct.
You need to know this stuff.
And that goes with everything else that you're going to bring or buy there. You don't bring it back with you because you need to know what the laws are. Well, she made a boo-boo, right? And broke the law and
just a little one.
Wound up in prison over there. And I heard that it's like just terrible to be over there and be in prison. They work you to the bone. They just like, it's really bad. But we are not supposed to do things like this because it shows favoritism,
We don't
right?
negotiate with terrorists.
There
and
are
ultimately,
people-
Putin is kind of, I mean, look at what he's doing. So
Well, there are people that have been left behind and prisoners of war
Absolutely.
and people that were left in Afghanistan.
yeah,
I mean, so it's very upsetting to hear that. I understand that she's, a nice girl. She made a mistake. Like, this is
Right.
horrible. But what about our military members that are stuck in places
Yeah.
or, again, it's just not something that we usually do and trade. So what does Biden trade this NBA female player,
WNBA.
WNBA player for? Well, this is really, really bad guy that is the basis of the movie Warlord.
Yep, watch it.
His nickname is Merchant of Death. Doesn't sound like a very nice guy.
No.
He was sentenced to a minimum of 25 years in prison by a jury in the Manhattan federal court for conspiracy to kill U.S. citizens and officials, delivery of anti-aircraft missiles, and providing aid to terrorist organizations. Do you think that's a fair trade?
Not so much.
No, not so great. So just another example of a dum-dum just doing dum-dum stuff. And he's actually not the one making decisions anyway. So
He
you
couldn't
know.
make a decision if his life depended on it.
he reads the teleprompter. Good thing we don't have a teleprompter. I
Oh,
honestly
boy.
sometimes wish we had a teleprompter so I can remember things, but no, we're winging it. I guess I have
Oh,
a
yeah.
little bit of a teleprompter. I've been
yeah.
telepromptering a little bit. Repeat.
Yes.
Repeat what I did. Oh, don't say repeat. Wait.
DOT.
Right.
Dot.
Did he do that?
Oh,
Dot?
yeah, he does all sorts of shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh. Wave to the crowd.
Yeah. Wave to the crowd. Oh, hi, crowd.
Hi, crowd. It's too funny. So I'm sure there's a lot more things going on in the world, but let's get to giving the gift of safety so we
Okay.
can get through. Did you see that? I just kind of sprayed a little bit.
Say it, don't spray it.
I sprayed it and said it. Okay, so really bad trade, dum-dum. Don't do that again. All right, so like I said, we said no better gift than the gift of safety. Who should have non-lethal? So non-lethal is like a term that's loose, right? Because really anything could be a lethal weapon, right? Your fist,
Realistically, yeah.
a jabber. You know, if you hit somebody,
A jabber.
a jabber. Lots of things, right? You could be using a non-lethal item and somebody has a heart condition and boom, they're dead, right?
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, yeah.
ultimately you really don't know.
Yep.
But the key to any kind of defensive weapon is if you fear for your life, then you do anything that
get away.
you can to be safe, right?
The whole idea is to get away, right? It's not necessarily to do anything to that particular person. The idea is just to get away. If you have to do something to that person in order to get away, well, that's the byproduct of them being schmucks.
Exactly. But I think what people think non-lethal is like it's just not a gun. It's not necessarily true because you can have a gun and just be a really bad shot. It's not a lethal.
You can have non-lethal ammunition.
Sure.
Right? So there are non-lethal cartridges out there. But again, it's still coming out of a firearm. It could still potentially kill somebody.
Sure.
It wasn't the intent, but it could happen.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
ultimately, there you go.
Absolutely. So who should have a non-lethal item? People that run, it's really important. If
Absolutely.
you walk your dog, right? Just anywhere that you are out by yourself, right?
Sure. And if you don't feel like you want to carry a firearm, this is another reason you got to have something.
Yes.
Because it's getting crazy. It's absolutely getting crazy out there. It really is.
Yeah.
So you need to have something. And if you're like, I don't want a firearm, well, this is an option.
Right. And that's why we're doing this. Because firearms aren't for everybody, and I understand that. Sometimes you can't have a firearm legally. You're not able to have one. You're not able to purchase one or be in possession of one. And then there's also places that you can't have a firearm, right? There's firearm-free zones and things like that. So we're going to So we're going to talk about some items that you can carry anywhere,
Right.
And they're legal everywhere. And then there's other items that we'll talk about that it depends on where you are and what your state's guidelines and rules are. But who else should have them? Any professional people, women, men, it doesn't matter. Teachers, nurses, real estate agents, right? Any of these.
Yeah, real estate agents, huge,
Yes.
right? Because I mean, you're ultimately meeting people that you may have never met before, potentially in a home that's maybe empty.
Yes.
Maybe not.
Right.
I mean, it could be them. It could be somebody that's squatting. I mean, there's just all sorts of.
It's happened to me
realtors.
personally.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Absolutely huge.
Yeah, huge.
Yeah.
So homeowners, apartment dwellers. I said dwellers. I don't know why I said sorry. Postal workers, right? I don't know
Going
what the
postal.
rules. I mean, they are federal employees, so I'm not sure, what their rules are. But
All right.
anybody that's outdoorsy, right? You like to go on hikes or camping, things like that. And I have runners on here again, so that must mean that's a
Runners are really important.
really important one. So we're going to go over the pros and cons of the different items. Some of the most effective, some are more effective than others and have, different things going
Okay,
on. So
sure.
we'll definitely go through that.
So through the pros and cons
Yes.
of them. Cool.
So to help you decide, you're definitely going to want to know your laws. So once you kind of are like, hey, I think I want this, I want a taser, you have to check with your local law enforcement, your local laws.
Right.
Because you don't want to get caught with something that you're not supposed to have, because that would be bad.
And ultimately in Florida, we both teach our concealed class. We have a pretty good idea of what a lot of the statutes are. We're not attorneys. We're not given any kind of law advice.
Right.
But we do know a little bit about the statutes. So we can talk about the statutes.
Here
and
in
again,
Florida.
This is for Florida.
Right.
So yes.
Yep. You also, in helping you decide, you want to know your particular environment, right? So you need to know, like I said just a few minutes ago, can you have a firearm there? Can you not? What are you allowed to have? So
Right.
know where you're going and what you're doing so you can make an informed decision. You also need to know your physical capabilities, because there are certain things that you're going to need to. You don't want it to be taken away from you because
Correct. And
you
used
can't-
against you
and used
kind of
against
thing.
you.
Right. Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So the first one we're going to go over is a taser. And like I said earlier, a lot of people confuse it with a stun gun, and they say
Right.
they have a taser and it's a stun gun. So a taser is a weapon that you have that deploys
Yes.
like
Two barbs.
barbs. Yes.
Correct. That are attached electronically. So that ultimately they should incapacitate somebody. And I mean,
Yes.
drop them like a bad habit.
Yes.
There are some people that, depending on what they're on, there's a bunch of stuff that you could do to them and nothing's going to happen. I mean, you see some of the videos on YouTube, and police are tasering a guy like 3 different times, and he's still like laughing at him.
I've only seen that happen one time. Yeah.
But again, you got to keep in mind that it may not occur the way that you want it to. So,
Right.
But more than not, it's going to drop them like a sack of potatoes.
Right. So, so you don't have to touch the person with it, meaning like a
You have
stun
distance,
gun. You have
right.
distance, which is always what you want. You want to be able to like have that distance.
Build distance. If you don't have distance, you build distance.
Push them away, you kick them away, you
Whatever.
try to get them farther away from you so you're
Correct.
able to move around a little bit. So tasers are, they could be shaped like a gun.
Yep.
They could be shaped like a stun gun. So all different shapes and sizes.
Exactly.
And basically what you're going to do, some stun and tase.
Correct.
They do both.
Yeah, so ultimately, most of them have a cartridge. Cartridge goes in. Most of them are shaped like a gun. Some of them are shaped kind of like the corn cob on a Mossberg Shockwave. So they kind of have a little bit of an angle. But
Okay.
it's something that kind of fits in the hand well. The barbs come out. You're able to then either pull a trigger or push a button, which is going to send juice to those
Electric.
barbs. And that is when they really...
Electric current.
shit
It's
starts
it
happening.
shuts your nervous system down.
Correct.
Basically, it shocks your nervous system. It's going to basically just incapacitate the
Yep.
person, and it's really powerful.
Yeah, as long as the barbs are still in there, you can release and stop that from happening. If they want to try to get up, you can hit them again with it, as long as there's still juice left in that particular item.
Right.
You can then pull the cartridge out, and then inside of the handle, a lot of them still have...
Another one.
Where it's not another cartridge, but it's then you're able to then touch their skin and hit them and do that, and that's kind
Gotcha.
of what you were talking about.
Okay, gotcha.
So it's kind of that taser stun gun built
Yep.
into one.
So those are the two barbs,
Yep.
that are on your screen that shoot out, and they actually stick in the person.
Oh,
so
yeah.
they're barbed.
Yep.
And actually, medical professionals need to take them out in most cases because I've talked to Haley about it. And
That's what you're supposed to say?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, it's basically when you pull them out, they're barbed, so it's like a fishing hook in you.
Right.
So it's but usually the guys try to pull them out because they want to get away, and they're
Yeah.
tired of getting shocked.
Right. Right. You can pull them out, but it's going to do a lot of damage. So tasers are a great option. So they're my number one go-to when it comes to not being able to have a firearm.
Yep.
So if I'm not able to carry a firearm, I carry a taser. I think it's a great option, and it's definitely going to stop the person, and that's a really, really great option for people that don't have a firearm.
Right. The pro is they're
Really great.
extremely effective. There is
Extremely.
a con, and I'd say the con for them is their price.
Yeah.
They are not inexpensive.
Right.
So it's going to be very similar to some of the
Firearms.
lesser firearms. I mean, it's
Yeah, they're in the like
$300
$300 to $500.
$600 range.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I'd
they're not
say-
inexpensive.
Correct.
So-
So it's an investment, but it's an
Correct.
investment on your life. So
Absolutely.
But they also go way up. Like the ones that the cops use, I mean, those are like $1,500, $2,000.
Yeah.
So they really vary. But if you want something that you can conceal, something that's not like you're wearing on the outside, on your outside waistband, like a
Right.
cop, you can get into the less expensive ones. But it's a
enough.
great investment
Yep.
for everybody.
Yep.
So,
So
and then
there's-
you can
there's
get
the cartridges,
refills.
So there's the taser, so the Pulse,
Yep.
Pulse Plus, which
Yep.
is up in the middle of the screen, $450. Yep.
Yep.
And you see your cartridges, your refill cartridges. So yep.
Yes. Yes, they're quick to deploy, they're simple to use, easy to carry.
Yep.
Tasers are not legal in every city and state. So you're going to want to, again, check with your local laws, check
Yep.
your local laws and find out if you're allowed to have that.
Correct.
All right, so stun guns. Stun guns are the next one we're going to talk about. So stun guns don't deploy a barb like what
Correct.
Chad was just talking about. You actually have to touch the person.
Right. So now you haven't built space. So this is kind of, I don't want to say your last ditch effort, but ultimately you're this close because ultimately you're able to reach out and touch.
Right.
And if you can touch them, you can then use that. And that's
Yeah.
kind of your last place you want to be.
Right.
And there's a
has an
picture
electric
of-
current.
Yep.
And it is going to shock the person, right? So
Yep.
if you've ever like shocked yourself on a electric current, somewhere, it definitely shocks you. It shocks
Yes.
you. That's
Oh,
it. So definitely
And
a
it's
good
not-
option.
Yeah, it's not as powerful as a taser because
No.
when the barbs go in you, but it gets their attention for sure. And again, it depends on where you're placing it as
Yeah.
well, right? You hit them in the arm and that arm could just go numb.
Yeah.
Just completely.
Absolutely. And if they
So-
have a weapon in their hand too, it's going to likely cause them to kind of drop
Drop it.
it, or
Yeah.
at least like fumble it. So yeah, stun guns are great. Stun guns, when comparing tasers to pepper spray to stun guns, unfortunately, these aren't the best just because you
Right.
have to touch the person
Yeah.
with it. Now, it's better than nothing, don't get me wrong.
Right.
They're very easy to carry, they're very quick to deploy.
Yep.
And they do deliver a powerful and painful shock to wherever you touch them with
Correct.
it, right? So I guess it just depends on where you hit the person with it. Right.
Hello.
Right.
Yes. Or hello.
Right. They're very affordable. They're
Yes.
very inexpensive.
Yes.
So they're good.
Yeah.
You got to make sure that the battery is charged. So sometimes they have like a plug-in, and other times it's like built in.
Yeah, it's like a USB sometimes or whatever.
Yes.
And some of the stun guns now also come with flashlights built in, and we're also going to talk about flashlights. But
Yes.
it's kind of that combination. So if you're out walking, it's nice because they have no idea that you have it. You already have it in your hand. You're using it as your flashlight.
Correct.
And now all of a sudden something happens, and
Yeah.
there you go. You already have it in your hand.
Right.
So,
Yes.
for the walkers and runners, maybe potentially that's,
Yes.
again, something that might work.
Correct.
But
Because it
we're
has a
gonna talk about-
flashlight.
yeah, we're going to talk about some other stuff here as well.
Yeah.
'Cause pepper sprays, there's some great pepper sprays for runners as well. So we'll get into
Yes.
that here in a minute.
Yeah.
So,
And I love the stun guns that have flashlights because
Yes.
those are really great for walking, walking your dog, or if you're a jogger, you can just keep it in your hand. You can use the
Yeah.
flashlight. It's kind of dual purpose.
Absolutely.
Flashlights are really great. It's actually the one thing that I had with me today because I always carry one with me. But flashlights are you can carry them anywhere. And people
Right.
don't even think that flashlights could be a weapon, but they absolutely can be.
Oh, absolutely.
This one on the end is a Crimson Trace flashlight, and this one has like kind of sharp edges on the so you can absolutely use this to mess somebody's day up.
exactly. So ultimately in the hand, I mean, just in the hand like this and punching, it gives it more resistance.
Packs a
And
better
then-
punch.
Exactly. And then you can actually kind of use it in this fashion as well. So
Yes.
It
hurts.
Oh
yeah.
It's not gonna.
In the
it's not gonna
temple,
tickle.
and you also want to catch the criminal off guard, right? So you always want to like shock them in some way, and putting this, like I did just a second ago, in their face is gonna, if somebody does that to you, you immediately do that, right? So, so that's really helpful in throwing them off a little bit and giving you a minute or two, right?
Or seconds, and it gives you the upper hand at that point, and you do what you have to do. If that allows you to get to something else that maybe you have, that allows you to get to something else in order to get out of the situation. And again, we always want to just get away. So if you can do that, hit them with some pepper spray, and you're able to run away. Bye.
Pepper spray. Okay, so this is, if you can't get a taser, my number 2 self-defense is pepper spray.
Yes.
I always have a pepper spray on me.
Yes.
Pepper sprays are so amazing. They're so inexpensive and easy to use that
And build space.
Yes, and some of them spray 15 feet, 10, 15.
Yeah, so ultimately it depends, and we're going to kind of talk about this a little bit, in what kind of, whether it's a spray or a gel, because you're going to have a couple different options, and the gel is going to give you a little bit more distance just because of how it's concentrated. Right.
Yep.
But the spray, they're both extremely effective.
Absolutely. And they come in all different shapes and sizes and colors. And, if you're camping, it's really good, animals, when you're taking your dog for a walk, you can spray, a dog that's attacking or something like that. Just in the general area of where you spray it, people are going to be like trying to catch their breath. Their eyes are going to be tearing. I mean, I've done it. I've tested pepper sprays, and a wind has come by, and it's literally like you are gasping. Like, they really, really work. Like, people laugh sometimes, and I'm like, "Do you have a pepper spray?" And they're like, "Uh-huh." And I'm like, mostly men.
It takes the wind out of the sails real quick.
I mean, is it like a macho thing why men don't like pepper sprays?
I don't know. I don't mind it. I mean, I'll use it on somebody. Just saying. I don't want it used on me. That's for fuck's sake, sure.
Yeah.
So.
Just curious if it's a macho thing, because
Probably.
Are
oh,
pepper sprays for girls?
I'll use my fist. Whatever.
Not if he's got a knife.
Yeah. Well,
well, maybe. Yeah. Yes, knife. So this is a really great pepper spray.
Yes.
It's a pen. So I always, always, always have this on me. I'll stick it in my pocket. It is just a pen, right? It just looks like a pen, and it's shaped like a pen, and it's the same size as a pen,
look,
and it's a pepper spray. So it is like amazing. So I always have this because a lot of times you can't carry because of what you're wearing or where you're going, like we talked about. So it's always good to have something. And if I don't have my pen pepper spray or a firearm, I feel very anxious, I guess. It's just, and could I fight somebody? Defenseless.
It's kind of what it comes
and
down
could
to,
I, fight somebody off and use my keys and use, whatever you have? Yes, of course I can. But it's
easier said than done. I mean, really. I mean, you see some of these guys that do this stuff, and it's,
they're big, big guys that'll overpower you.
And you're like, oh, I can take care of it. It's like,
or 2 or 3 people, right? So you just never know what's going to happen. So the pepper spray is great. You're just going to want to spray it right like this, just right.
Absolutely. So ideally, you want to kind of aim for the brow.
Eyebrows.
And that way, if anything is still there, it's going to keep dripping down.
Yes.
And then anything left, after you hit that area, if you still have more left, empty it, right? Empty the rest. If it's a spray, empty it down here on the shirt, because then the fumes are going to come up and keep feeding it.
It's
and
really
just
effective.
Be brutal. Yeah.
It's so effective. Like, people just don't understand how effective pepper sprays are. And I am such an advocate for them, because I've had it barely come near me, and literally I was blubbering, so, and I've seen it happen to other people too.
Absolutely.
So it's such a there's no reason not to have a pepper spray.
Some of the pepper sprays have dyes in them. They'll have a marking dye, like the blue stuff they use for.
I love those.
And then some of them just have a dye in it, so you're able to see it. And then again, that's one of those things, you start shooting it on somebody's shirt, and they're like, oh, no, that wasn't me. And they have this big old orange stain on their shirt.
Right.
Wanna bet?
Yeah, it's easier for police to find them when it's got the dye in it. So that's a very good point. Yeah. The best pepper spray, or the pepper sprays, are easy to use. They can be used at distance. They're easy to carry, and they're legal in all 50 states. However, there may be restrictions on the size that you can carry and the weight of the canister, also in the ingredients used in the spray.
Nailed it.
Yep.
So it just depends. So you have to make sure that you are aware of what is in it, which it'll
Yep.
have the ingredients on it, so that you're compliant.
Yep.
But pepper spray, get yourself a pepper spray. It should be in everyone's stocking. If they don't have a pepper spray, super inexpensive
Right.
stocking stuffer, gift of safety.
Pretty much most of the stuff that we carry it has some OC in it as well. So that is stuff that's more used military and police. So it does have some in it, but it's not just OC spray.
Right.
So it has a little bit of both. And then if you could, Rob, the image of kind of the different sprays, I did want to kind of just show
The
that
gel.
real quick. Yeah, just because there are some different ones. Like
Yep.
a fog, it doesn't go very far at all. It's just that, it's a fogger, right?
close
the
up.
cone, The cone is going to give you a little bit more, it's kind of almost your typical spray style, and then your stream and gel. And you can kind of see it really is tight
Yeah.
streams. And that's where you'll get a little bit more distance and it's a
Sure.
little bit more concentrated.
Yeah.
Plus and minus to that. Your shot needs to be a lot better with it than with the spray.
Yeah.
So there is people like, oh, I want to do that. Well,
Yeah.
the spray, albeit it might come back at you as well, but the reality is it's also getting more kind of out there where you're actually hitting your target.
Right.
So
Yes, and you do have to be careful with pepper spray, and that is a negative, is the blowback. You have to be careful that you're not getting it yourself because it is going to, kind of
Yeah.
incapacitate you a little bit with your vision and being able to breathe and things like that.
Right.
So you're going to want to make sure that your arm is completely
Extended, yeah.
extended out, and you're going, for their face.
Yeah.
And it's just tough because you want to like turn away, but you also want to make sure that you're hitting the person and they're not like doing this and you're completely missing them.
You gotta,
There you go.
and it's not a lot.
Train.
But you really do need to, when you get it, you need to at least go out and do a quick spray on it because it'll tell you kind of how many uses there are.
Bursts,
right?
yeah.
But ultimately, go out, hold it down for a second. You'll kind of see what happens, so you kind of understand how it deploys and what it looks like.
So important.
Yes.
And I know that a lot of the pepper sprays have an expiration date on them. It's just the potency, it's kind of like medicine.
Well, and I think it also has to do with the charge in it as well in order to be able to deliver it.
Sure.
So I think it's a combination of both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So if it's old, they're like $10,
Right.
literally.
If it's old,
average.
again, go back out and go and kind of spray it because at least you'll be able to kind of still get an idea and then
Yes.
go get another one. Or get
Yep.
another one first and then do that.
I tell every single person that buys a pepper spray that they are to test it.
Yes.
So you have to test it. You have to see, do it in the grass, do it on the ground, see how far it shoots because you're going to be shocked. A lot of people are shocked when I have them do it.
Which way's the wind blowing?
Wow.
Please make sure you do that. I'm just saying, it's like know which way the wind's blowing when you do it.
So somebody's charging at you and you're like, give
I'm
me your
saying
say.
when you're practicing.
Oh,
you
when you're
practice, you want to
practicing,
make
yes.
sure that you
Okay,
test
good,
it.
good.
Make sure you know
Thank
which
you
way
for
the wind's blowing.
clarifying.
Yes. So before you do your test.
See an attacker coming and it's like, hold on.
Hold on.
Shed
Can
told
we-
me,
can we,
wait.
Can we swap spaces
Which way
here?
is the wind blowing? Right. But it's important. I know what you're saying because you don't want it to come back at you.
Yes.
So it is important.
Unless you want to, then have at it.
Yeah.
If you want to know what's like.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've heard people say, "Oh, well, I have like bug spray or whatever spray that they
roach
have, wasp
spray or-
spray
yeah.
or whatever." But that really isn't a good stream. I mean, is it better than nothing? Yes, but these are made to spray and deliver.
These are meant to be used on humans.
Yes.
I mean, that's reality.
Yeah.
So just saying.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right, so a baton is the next thing we're going to talk about.
Okay.
A baton is basically a stick, right? So a baton,
A Billy.
a billy, thank you. So that is now like it's like a baton that a billy that retracts.
Correct.
There's retractable ones.
Yeah. 'Cause
You
your
know,
billy clubs used to just be a piece of wood, and that's all it was. And now
Yeah.
your batons are deployable.
sure.
So ultimately, they're usually made of either steel or some sort of hard material that you can pretty much just whack the bejesus out of somebody
It's
with.
like a little bat, like a
Yes.
little mini bat that you can carry on you, and it is a great option.
Yep.
It's
Again, and this you touched on this earlier. You got to make sure that physically that you can handle it,
Right.
Because that is absolutely something that somebody can 100% take
from you.
and use on you. And that I would much rather get pepper spray than hit with that thing.
Yes. So
That I can assure you.
that is the strong negative on the baton is
Yep.
that it is very easy for somebody to take it from you. So
Yep.
you really do have to be experienced on the batons and
Yes.
practice. And it's really important for that because you don't want somebody to take that and use it on
Right.
you.
And
Yeah.
some of them are manually deployed, and some of them are electronically deployed.
Yeah.
So electronically deployed are going to be considerably more expensive because of how they function than manually deployed and deployed.
Yes, for sure. So you have to train. A couple of points. Have to train and learn self-defense techniques with your baton.
Sure.
When used for physical protection, a baton can be taken away easily. We already went through that.
Yeah.
Some states and cities do allow civilians to carry batons, but be sure to check your local regulations, just like anything else, because there are certain areas where you cannot have them.
Correct.
All right, so the last thing we're going to touch on real quick is a personal safety alarm. And these are noise-based weapons. Some of the times when I'm teaching, well, all the times when I teach a self-defense class, I always say you have to use your voice. You have to draw attention.
That's right.
A lot of people, and Devin just talked about this with me. She had somebody that was followed out, young lady that was followed out to her car. There were people that were coming up against her, hooting and hollering and coming up quick behind her. She got her keys out. She thought she was going to get into her car real quick. She got in her car and they got in with her.
Wow.
Yeah. So she's okay. But I've told people this, if you feel somebody, you need to turn around and you need to use your voice. You need to scream. You need to curse. You need to draw attention.
Well, it sounded like they were making noise too, which is
well, they were
really
saying
weird.
things to her is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah. But noise-based situations are so important for defense because you need to draw attention. If I hear somebody screaming, I'm going to look.
Absolutely.
So
you want to draw attention to the situation because ultimately criminals
are looking for easy targets.
Like what was it? Like 70% of convicted guys said that they never would have done something if somebody looked at them or said something to them.
Right.
So that in itself, right there, let you know. You start making loud noises or whatever, they're like, "I'm out."
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's really, really important to be vocal. So these sound-based weapons are really great, and they're legal everywhere. You can carry them anywhere. They're totally safe. They don't accidentally go off, like a pepper spray. You have to be careful depending on which one you have.
Yep.
It's piercing to an attacker's ears. It's effective in defending an attack. It can cause confusion or disorientation depending on the decibel of what it is,
Right.
So
And keep in mind, people are thinking that I'm sure you go, well, why wouldn't it affect you? And it is directional.
sure.
So you are able to direct that noise. So it is not doing anything to you. You might hear some of it, but it's not going to be the same as actually getting on the other end of that.
Correct.
So,
Yes. And most importantly, it's going to alert passerbyers and other potential witnesses so as to diminish the attacker's opportunity to carry on. So anything that draws attention is really important.
Yes.
So that's a really great one. And it can go on your keychain. It could be wherever. So those are really, really great to have as well. And I highly suggest those for elderly people just because they're sometimes not able physically to have any kind of weapons. And that's a really great way to draw attention so people look.
Sure.
And
so
that's
they are
good.
really loud.
Yep. So all of these defensive weapons can be found on our website, mdarmory.com, or stop into either one of the shops and we can get you into any of these options. We have multiple choices for you and we'll get you fit.
We have some stuff in the shop and we have a whole bunch of stuff on the website.
Absolutely.
So, yes.
Yeah. Because of the Christmas holiday season, things are just flying off the shelves. So
literally.
Yeah, literally. We're so busy. So I love that people are listening and giving gifts of safety because it's so important.
Yep.
There's a couple other things I want to touch on, but I don't want to lose track of time. So I want to go ahead and do our raffle.
The raffle.
So our Largo store, this is driving him crazy that I keep playing. I should just put them in ponytails.
I wonder if she could do the show if she sat on her hands.
No way. I would be crazy.
Literally, she'd be silent.
Yeah, it's true. I fidget. I fidget all the time. I'm like playing with my hands. I'm like,
oh boy, look at all
right,
these tickets.
so for the Largo location, and it could be people from Tampa may have, anybody really could put in a raffle ticket. So for $10 a chance, somebody is going to win this amazing AR-15 Colt. Mm-hmm. Is there a model or is it just an AR-15?
There are. It's a model, but I mean they have so many different little intricacies on which model it is. I don't know exactly what the 4-digit code is on it.
Okay,
but,
gotcha.
Anyway.
But it is a Colt rifle, and it takes 5.56 .223 ammunition.
Yep. Oh,
so
boy,
let's
here we go.
see how I do with the name. I am not very good at this.
And I don't have glasses, so I can't
This
help
one
you with
has
it.
got a little. Let's see what we got here.
Alrighty.
First initial C.
C. Kohot. K-O-H. Actually, it's K-E-H-O-T.
Kehot. Kehot?
Yeah.
Okay. See, it's not just me.
There you go.
All right.
also
So
don't have my glasses
C,
on.
I think it's Kohot.
Is it?
Kohot?
Maybe.
856 area code on your phone number, but
you go.
C, Kohot, I think it says
Okay.
Kohot.
won.
I don't know, but that's
gonna reach out to you.
That's who's on the ticket. So congratulations,
Yes.
you won the Colt AR-15, and it is yours for free. You just have to pay the $5 background check because everybody gets a background check in the state of Florida for every purchase. So hopefully you are able to purchase a
Hopefully you
firearm
pass.
and you pass. So that is definitely going to be a requirement,
Yes.
but it is yours once you pass the background check.
Cool.
So congratulations, and I would love to look up if it actually is Kohot.
We'll figure it
I
out.
think it is.
What else
So-
did you want to hit on before we get out of here?
Oh, I love the Christmas lights.
Look at that. Where was that
Yay.
for the rest of the show?
No,
Damn
I
it.
love it. I love it. It's so cute. And these guys sing.
boy.
Oh boy, I don't know. Oh wow, yeah. No, this guy's even better. Wow. Well, it's not even Christmas yet, but we're getting in the Christmas spirit.
Yes.
It's the time for giving. Definitely going around shopping and going to malls. This is the time that you're going to want to stay alert, be aware of your surroundings, have
100%.
some sort of non-lethal or lethal object with you so you can defend yourself.
And if you can, be in groups. Don't do it alone.
Right.
If you can.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us here at Tactical Talk with Mad Dog Armory. And we will see you next week, Friday at 6 p.m. And we are hoping that you have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for joining.
Bye.